Hi, PE 570. So, for Unit 5, the role of parents in sport and legal aspects of hiring coaches, the key points that I learned from the video would have to be how they said in the video, where just people aren't being accountable for their actions or lack thereof. And that these parents are willing to not just show their grievances, but also to actually take action in court and really stretch out something that is not necessary. And I think a big point that I learned is, as a coach, you need to be able to defend yourself. Um, and that leads me to the next question of describe what changes you may consider in your approach to coaching. Really, I never gave it much thought. My parents, all through my life with sports, always, coach's word is the right word. It didn't matter what it was, but you have to respect your coach's word. You have to respect what he's saying. You have to respect what he's doing. And you know what? You can't do anything about it. And they lived by that. They sat on the sideline and they just supported anything the coach said, whether I was starting, whether I wasn't. Moving positions, it was always, he has his reasons and you gotta just live by him. And so again, I never really gave it much thought until reading about this lesson, or reading the lesson and watching the video. And I guess the biggest change I would make is to sit down, take the time, and think about at least one or two good reasons why a player is not starting, beyond just a guy is better than the guy in front of him is better than him, or something like that. And again, I would even write it down in writing and date it and everything. Just say the player doesn't have quick enough feet, or uh, hands aren't placed in the in the right places compared to the person in front of them, or just things like that. Kind of just have a small list of the guys who are not starting, and just to have some kind of defense in writing that I could have against, uh, God forbid, a parent trying to take legal action for their child not starting or playing. So the suggestions I have for coaches currently in the field, definitely just defend yourself. Be able to defend yourself. In high school, I see a lot more of it in high school than college. The parents definitely more involved because they're trying to get their kid into college. They're trying to get them into the professional realm, and it all really starts in high school. My head coach at Cal Lutheran, he would say, obviously this is college, so it's different. Uh, but he said if you have a problem with your playing time, he's more than happy to sit down with you and talk to you about it. However, if a parent came and talked about your playing time, it was an immediate suspension of at least 1 week or that following game, depending on the time of the year. And obviously, it's harder to do that in high school or public schools, but I think there's something to be said about that, where you just instill in your players where, hey, if you've got a problem with your playing time, don't run to your parents. Like, you can tell them, obviously, but come to the coach. Ask what more you can do. I'm sure the coach. Like I said, I would make that list, and if a player came to me and said, okay, what can I do to play? What can I do that would increase my chances or beat out the guy in front of me? I would say, you need to work on this, this, and this. And you know what? If he does, and then has that little extra thing that now makes him more valuable than the player in front of him, all of a sudden he's got the starting job. And now you've circumvented a whole area of drama that and stress that is not necessary. And really, I think it makes the kid feel better because he worked for this, and or she, excuse me, but they worked for it, and it's not their parents taking the reins and uh, putting their kid behind them. It's them taking charge of their own life. And again, just the suggestion I have is just instilling that in your players. Tell your players, if you don't like it, it's not tough. It's come talk to me, and I will explain why you're not playing, and we can figure something out where maybe if you can't get it this year, we'll try next year and everything. All right, thank you.